The latest box of boxes had a few sci-fi. So let's just go through those. Hey, it's the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina KRSTINA. This is where I read book, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. Okay, let's just get started, will we? Some of these are fantasy, some of them is a sci-fi, some of these I haven't had a clue. Shadow's Edge, Brent Weeks. Uh, Kyler Stern has rejected the assassin's life. The God King's successful coup has left Kyler's master Durgo and his best friend Logan dead. He's starting over, new city, new friends, and new profession. But when he learns that Logan might actually be alive and hiding, Kyler is faced with the agonizing choice. Will he give up the way of the shadows forever and live in peace with his new family, or will he risk everything by taking on this ultimate hit? Brandon Sanderson, Legion. Stefan Leeds is perfectly sane. It's his hallucinations who are mad. A genius of unrivaled aptitude, Stefan can learn any new skill, vocation, or art in a matter of hours. However, to maintain all of this, his mind creates hallucinatory people. Stefan calls them aspects to hold and manifest the information. Wherever he goes, he is joined by a team of imaginary experts to give him advice, interpretation, and explanation. He uses them to solve problems for a price. His brain is getting a little crowded, and the aspects have a tendency of taking on lives of their own. When a company hires him to recover stolen property, a camera that allegedly takes pictures of the past, Stefan finds himself in an adventure crossing oceans and fighting terrorists. See what happens there. Brian Jacques, haven't seen him in a while. Red Wall. It is summer of the late rose, and the gentle mice of mossflower wood gather to celebrate a year of peace and abundance at Red Wall. But a sinister shadow has fallen across the ancient stone abbey, for it's rumored that Cluny is coming, Cluny the menacing one-eyed rat and his battle-seasoned horde, Cluny who has vowed to conquer Red Wall Abbey. The woodland creatures rush to the desperate defense, but what can an abbey of peace-loving mice do against Cluny the Scourge and his evil band of rats? If only they had the sword of Martin the Warrior, they might stand a chance of saving their beloved abbey. But the hiding place of the legendary sword has been long forgotten. It is in the bumbling young Matthias who sets out to find the sword, fights for the abbey, and becomes a most unlikely hero. We talk about this lady in Flashback Monday. Michelle Sagara. Grave. Emma had dreams once she would finish high school, go to university, graduate, spend her life with Nathan. But Nathan died, and those dreams died with him. That should have been the end of it, but it was an ending she didn't want. Death is a wall. Emma was born to climb it. She can see the dead, speak with the dead, and even at a cost touch them. But she isn't the only one. In a city that defies the boundaries between life and death, the Queen of the Dead rules. She built her citadel with the power of the dead she's gathered over the centuries. She's trained necromancers and sent them into the world of living. She found Nathan. She bound him. So Emma's gonna try and rescue him. Devastation, Gloria. However you say that. Um, Earth's population has been decimated by disease and natural disasters, and those who remain alive in doomed cities sealed up to prevent the spread of further devastation. In 18 days, there will be bloodless virtual war between the remaining few world powers, with the winner to take possession of the only place on Earth still safe to live undoomed, a remote tropical island in the Pacific. Oh, Hawaii. Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows. Isn't that interesting? Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows better than criminal prodigy Kaz Bezeker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. Reminds me of Game of Thrones cover. Jack Cloud, Stephen Hunt. Young Jack Keats finds himself on the streets of Middlesteel, his kingdom's capital, trying to graft enough coins as a pickpocket to keep him and his two younger brothers fed. But a darling bank robbery goes badly awry, and Jack is headed for the gallows. Jack narrowly escapes the scaffold, only to be pressed into the Royal Navy. He's assigned to the most useless airship in the fleet, serving under a captain who's most probably mad, and Jack seems to be bound for almost certain death in a faraway desert of Kasserine. Wings of Fire. Turtle isn't one of the heroes he reads about in the stories. If he were, he'd use his ominous powers to help Priya instead of keeping his abilities a secret, even from his own sister. Now that Darkstalker, the sinister and possibly old dragon for Pyrrha's most notorious legends, has returned, Turtle knows his own role is simple: hide and stay hidden. The other dragons, Jade Mountain Academy, on the other hand, think Darkstalker is fascinating. His charms everyone he meets, including Turtle's most skeptical friends. They all seem convinced that the ancient dragon has changed. Uh-huh. CURIODDITY, Paul Evans. Will Morgan is a creature of habit, a low-budget insurance detective who walks to and from work with the flow of one-way traffic. For Will, imagination is a thing of the distant past. When a job opportunity encounters the picture in the form of a mysterious Mr. Dinsdale, creator of the slightly less than impressive commodity museum, Will reluctantly accepts the task of finding a missing box of jewelry. When he soon learns, however, it is that there is another world out there, a world of magic we can only see by learning to unlook at things. And in this world, there are people who want to close the Curiosity Museum down. With the help of his eccentric new girlfriend, Lucy, will do everything he can to deliver his promise. The Night Voice. With much relief, Marjorie, Lucille, and Chap prepare to hide the last two of the powerful orbs. Once this last great task is completed, Marjorie can take Lucille home to a life of peace. The rumors reach them that a horde of undead creatures slaughtering everything in its wake has gathered in the far east regions of the Sumerian desert. This gathering would be caused only by the ancient enemies awaking. The fate of Tearling? It's a little split. In less than a year, Gellin has transformed a gawky teenager into a powerful monarch. As soon as she come into her own as the Queen of Tearling, the headstrong visionary leader has transformed her realm. In her quest to end corruption and restore justice, she has made many enemies, including the evil Red Queen, her fiercest rival, who has set her enemies against the Tear. To protect her people from devastating invasion, Kelsey did the unthinkable. She gave herself and a magical sapphires to her enemy, and named the mace the trusted head of the Queen's Guard as regent in her place. The mace will not rest until he and his men rescue their sovereign imprisoned in a perilous Mesme. While they embark on this dangerous mission, Kelsey must unravel the secrets of her own heritage and end of Tearling's past, secrets with stakes far higher than she could ever have imagined. But a powerful new enemy stands in her way, bolstering by anger from the past and growing danger by the way. He stopped at nothing to destroy anyone who challenges his claim. River Road. Hurricane Katrina is long gone, but the preternatural storm rages on in New Orleans. New species from the beyond move into Louisiana after the hurricane destroyed the borders between the worlds, and it fills false to wizard Sentinel Drusilla and Draco, her partner, Alex, warn to keep the prenaturals peace and the humans unaware. But a war is brewing between the two clans of Cajun merpeople in the Plaquemines parish, and down in the swamp, DJ learns that there's more stirrings than angry mermen and the threat of Gator. Interesting. And our final book, The Black Tattoo. Its definitely folded, leathery black wings were bat-like, but it was bigger than any bat Jack had ever seen. Its dark eyes were wide and trusting, and with soft thumps, rapidly became a thunderous rumble as more and more of its fellows landed on the tables around it. It walked straight up to where Jack was sitting, looked up at him, and smiled warmly. Good evening. Okay. That was our little box of sci-fi. That's all we have. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope maybe you found something. Maybe you saw something. I didn't know any of these authors. I had no idea. So I just thought I'd share them with you. Have a good day.